Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 2019's One Bedroom.
Welcome home, subscribers.
Before we get started, if you want to follow me or Corey on Twitter X, you can follow me at Junior D's. You can follow Corey at Corey_idol. And you can follow the show at Kiss the Reviews on X, Instagram, TikTok. It's going to take me a while to call Twitter X. I'm just going to call it Twitter. I'll change the logo and stuff at the bottom, but
we could just stop using it.
We could do that too.
I vote for that.
Yeah, especially if it's going to a subscription model. Bye.
Yeah. Ta-ta.
Oh, well, let's get into the cast of 2019's One Bedroom. This film stars Nicole Brydon as Sarah, Bloom Giles as Brian, and Taylor Nichols as Jerry.
Love me a small cast. I love anything that can be set as a play as well as a movie. And I'm not like a theater guy. I think there's much more of an acting dynamic. You get to showcase a little more of your skills in those smaller settings, like a 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
And I think everybody in this really got to showcase how good of an actor they really are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I like smaller. Everything just was simple.
Yes.
And when you're doing a horror suspense, obviously there's room for big budgets and big theatrical releases and all this stuff, but these very simple horror movies or suspense drama type, I really like them.
Yes. That is that is a community I wish to be a part of.
Yeah. So
I don't want to take a nail to my hand, but you know.
I already got the branding in the back of the ear. I'm in.
Lucky.
I'm full go. I'm part of the community.
I'm way too mouthy. They would never have me.
I'd get murdered immediately.
Yeah.
But let's jump into this movie. So the movie opens with Sarah. She's walking up to an apartment building with the vacancy sign. She goes in to look at an available unit, and the apartment is full of other people who are also looking at said unit. And she turns to leave, and then there's Jerry. And he tells her, hey, it's not a first come, first serve situation. She goes back in, takes a little tour of the apartment. And Jerry does ask her if she has a pet, to which she responds no. But then in the next scene, we see that she has a cat.
Yeah, and I've done this before. Not quite the same consequences, but I've totally lied. Like, yeah, I don't have a fucking pet. Here are my 8 dogs. Hope you don't mind.
I don't smoke. I don't have any pets. No bad habits whatsoever. I'm very quiet.
By the way, they always find out. Don't fuck with them.
I don't play Tupac at max volume at 2 a.m. ever. I don't know who does that.
I actually think that's a prerequisite for living in an apartment complex. It's a 1-month rotation. Everybody has to do it.
Corey, 3:30 in the morning. My ambitions as a rider.
Hell yeah, that's my fucking jam.
Mine too.
Ain't nobody trying to hear Brenda's having been a baby at fucking 3 a.m. We want that gangster shit.
Fuck yeah. Later, we see Sarah. She gets a phone call from her father. He immediately asks her about a job and if she's doing this to punish him and Diane because she's moved out to Cali. And if anyone out there has a dad,
I do. I have a dad.
And or mom, both, whatever, that's had to endure one of these calls. They are brutal, okay? And I got a quick, don't do that.
Don't do that, it's not good for you.
Hi, parents. Just real quick, your kid decides they're gonna go for it all. They're gonna risk it all they have this goal in mind and they have this career that they want to do. She wants to be a costume designer, whatever, fashion designer in LA. Fine, whatever. Let them fail. Let them fail hard. It builds character. What you don't want to do is call them and like, are you trying to punish me because you caught me banging your sick mom's fucking nurse in the house? Is that why? Listen, that's punishment enough that I gotta walk in on your old fat ass banging mom's nurse, okay?
Bald and sweaty.
Just breathing heavy. It's just, that's not a good look. But
and you know this nurse is just sitting there bent over like this the whole time.
Just taking it. Dude,
just come on.
This guy, this dad reminds me of the dad that's like, well, did you give him a firm handshake? Maybe that's why he didn't get the job. Fucking settle down, Pops, okay? I know that's how you got the job as CEO at General Motors or whatever, but that's not how shit works these days.
You were correct.
And every parent out there should develop Schadenfreude. You should learn to enjoy your children's failures like my father does. Because then, as a parent, you get to go, told you so. They give you one warning, and then they're like, I know you're going to do what you're going to do. Go do it. And then you go do the thing, and they're like, I told you heroin was addictive. Fuck you, Corey. And then I'm like, no, fuck you, Dad. I don't need this shit.
No, that's...
Sorry, I went off on a little thing there.
That's all right. That's all right. No, that's... My dad, on more than one occasion, when I was younger, has told me, literally, this is an actual quote from my father. Arma, you gonna do whatever it is you gonna do. He knew me, and he knew me well enough to know I was gonna do whatever the hell I wanted to do, and I wasn't listening to anybody. So take that route with your kids. Just let them do their thing. Be there for the fallback and the support. That's it. We then hear cut to Sarah at her temp job at an attorney's office. She gets a call from the apartment complex. They let her know that she got the apartment. And as she moves some of her stuff in, she meets Brian, who invites her to a cookout in the courtyard and introduces her to the community there.
And we're skipping over a little piece here where we meet Sarah's new friend.
Yes, Lisa.
Who is probably my inspiration in life. What she does here is what I suggest everyone do in life. And we'll just do this.
Corey's Life Lessons.
Hi, kids. Uncle Corey here. If your boss tries to pull some shit on you, which is like, I told you to fucking do this and blah, 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 you act exactly like Lisa does here, which is, if you want me to reorder the shit, tell me to reorder it, but don't make it seem like I fucked up.
Yeah.
Don't pull that fucking noise with me. And you know what the boss does? Okay, here you go, thank you. She runs the fuck away. Act like Lisa.
Yes.
That's
and
it.
by the way, if they're like, hey, we need you to work overtime, but you got to clock out for it. We can't pay you for it. Well, it looks like I ain't working.
You were right.
So over the next few days, Sarah keeps hearing weird noises during the night, assumes it's the pipes. She then gets a note about no pets in the building, slid under her door with the selfish bitch written on it. And she goes out into the hallway, but nobody's there, and everyone just nods at her until she sees creepy one-eyed Lester.
Gonna make him my wife.
That's about right. That's a great impression of Lester. Good job. Good acting.
Yes. Acting! The Toledo Community Center School of Improv has really been paying dividends.
She also runs into Brian again. He invites her to a dinner party at his place, and later, Sarah and her coworker Lisa go to Sarah's place to hang out and eat. Brian pops out of his apartment and asks if Sarah's coming over. And like this scene, I was like, and I've seen this movie a few times. Okay, I spoiler alert, I love this movie. But even in the first viewing of this movie, I was like, hey, Brian, pump the brakes, guy. Like, even when you don't know what's coming later, and I'm like, okay, he's having a dinner party. There's guests at his house. Is he in the peephole? Like, all right, she's walking by. Like, if that's the case, Brian, you're a horrible host. Your back is to your guests, guy. Let's settle the fuck down. I get it. She's pretty.
I was laughing at this. Every time I've seen this movie, like you, I've seen it a few times because I love it. And this always reminded me of Ghostbusters. When every time Sigourney Weaver walked by your door, Rick Moranis would open up immediately and be like, hey, what are you doing? You coming by? I would piss my pants laughing every time Brian opens the door here because of that scene. Thanks, Ghostbusters. And I feel like we're avoiding kind of the obvious here.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, ladies. Uncle Corey here. If a guy like Brian walks up to you and he has the, hi, I'm Brian. Let me show you around. I like the way you help eat. We're a community here. Well, fucking don't talk to that guy. I don't care how handsome he is. That smile and that haircut and that white-ass skin is a combination that will get you fucking killed and in somebody's trunk. Don't do that. You're gonna your foot's gonna be in fucking LA and your goddamn torso's gonna end up in Reseda. Don't do this shit.
He's got a very Latter-day Saints vibe to him. Like he's gonna knock on your door on Sunday morning.
That guy has a very clear definition of what his life is supposed to be, and he is not going to let anybody interrupt it. And controlling, even beyond like what's about to happen, controlling is what all those guys end up being. That's why I grow facial hair, so I don't look like that.
No, you look like a fucking pedophile instead.
Goddamn right. That's how bad Brian is.
So later that night, as Sarah sleeps, she hears a bump in the night. Then her smoke detector goes off. She goes out into the kitchen to find a no pets in the building note on the top of the stove. And when she opens the oven, her cat is baking at a crisp 350 degrees. And then Brian comes up from behind her. He ties her to a chair. She breaks out of the chair, runs out of the apartment, runs into one of the residents, and begs Esther to help. And when Esther nor any of the other residents help her, Sarah realizes she is proper fucked.
Look, I am not a gun guy, okay? However, I own a gun, if not a few guns, which is why I'm very comfortable telling people where I live on YouTube. Because when I hear a bump in the night, I check it out with a fucking gun. Period. You ain't sneaking up on me, Brian. It ain't ever happening. And I had a fucking 22 when I was like 18 years old and I had my first apartment. I suggest that to anyone living by themselves. Have something, even a stabby. If you don't like guns and the idea of guns, you're not cool. Have a stabby there. Have something where you can do something to defend yourself. Because there are more Brians and cat burners in the world than there are fucking not. They're all psychos. I hate everyone. I'm scared.
So they knock her out here. And when she wakes up, she's in a boarded up room wearing scrubs. Brian and Jerry come in and tell her she has to learn to comply. They make her stand with her hands against the wall. And as long as the lights are on, she has to stay in that position. If she falls, if she takes her hands off, she's punished. And they also show her what happens if you don't comply by showing her creepy one-eyed Lester.
I'm gonna make you my wife.
And apparently they make you wrestle in a singlet because Lester got some bad cauliflower ear too.
Lester been through some shit.
Lester has been through. You thought Andy Dufresne crawled through some miles of shit? Lester's been through a mile of shit.
You were right.
I got very triggered watching all of this because, as Armando knows, pretty much like me being told to comply or do what I tell you to do or I'm going to punish you is immediately when I'm like, oh, okay, hey, fuck you. I'm done.
Oh, hey, fuck you.
So with that in mind, and for people like me who maybe, need a community, but aren't really, comply ready, this is what I suggest.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, cult leaders. Uncle Corey here. When you have a new member you're ready to get in and you need to get them ready to go, you don't have to be so mean about it. You can still do, the stress pose and don't fall or we're going to punish you. You can be a little nice, like Brian standing there all... And fucking, Jerry's like, I'm going to punish you if you don't fucking... guys, calm down. You got her. You got it. You're ready to go. If your way is truly the way, be nice about it. You all look like Mormons anyway. You don't drink alcohol. You make fucking comments about that drug use anyway, which immediately disqualifies me from ever being in your cult. But you mention all this, just be more Mormon. Be nice. Even if inside you're just like, I can't wait to nail this bitch's hand to the fucking wall. Ah! Keep it down. Keep it internal.
Yes! Yes!
My whole thing with Jerry and all of this stuff, I immediately go into, okay, if I don't comply, I'm dead, basically. Mm-hmm. So now my brain starts working in overdrive, and I'm like, not only am I going to comply, I will comply so well that they're going to be like, dude, he could be the next leader of this community.
Hell yes.
I climb up the ranks, and then I literally murder everybody. Not one person stays alive.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
And after this, so they go through this shit for days. Sarah complies for another few days till she can't do it anymore. This is where she's given an ultimatum. Either hands on the wall or bullet in the head. And so they nail her hands to the wall. She eventually rips them off, sits in the corner. And when the light turns on another time, she slowly gets up, puts her hands on the bloody wall. That's when Brian and Jerry come in and say, congratulations, you've passed the first part of the test of becoming a member of this awesome community.
I'm proud of you.
If I'm in this situation, you've nailed down my fucking hand to the wall because I've fallen down. I physically can't do this anymore. Which, by the way, I'm like, can I get a note from my mom that says I have bad knees or something? Because I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Do you accept gym notes? But once you've nailed my hand to the wall, I am then resigned to just rap fucking Brian no matter what else happens with the rest of my life.
You were right.
Over the next few months, they start to allow her into the community a little, bit by bit. They're allowing her into the community. She reads the book about the 4 foundations that the community is based on, and going through the very Scientology audit interviews. And after Sarah's final audit, Jerry decides she's ready to be an official member of the community. Sarah's branded behind the ear. Then Jerry announces during her welcome to the community party that she will be creepy one-eyed Lester's replacement wife because Lester's wife died from cancer.
Okay, so this is where we cross a fucking line.
This is the hard line.
Kidnapping a woman and nailing her to a wall until she's fully ready to comply with your demand. That might be a line for you, not for me. I've been there. I've done that. Big fucking deal. Okay? But never have I ever forced a woman that I've kidnapped, nailed to a wall, etc., to marry one-eyed, creepy guy.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
That's a hard line,
My question would be okay, fine, okay, all fair, love and war. Am I the first one you've made do this? Is every couple in here assigned? What punishment, Jerry, do you have to... Where's your one-eyed cunt wife? That's what I want to know. Where's Brian's fucking hobbled fucking paraplegic fucking person he's supposed to be fucking married to? Why is this my fucking problem? Because I look like some bitch vaguely. We have blonde hair and are white. That's it. And I look like her? Fuck you.
You want to know what Jerry's punishment is? He's married to this Karen with the bowl cut in the movie, okay? That's Jerry's punishment. Like, he's got to go home to back to his apartment every night. She was like, these motherfuckers around here. You know what? Here's the next rule. If you break a rule in here, everybody in the community gets to smack you in the fucking face. That's the next one. Because, you know, Sarah does that whole thing, and she's just like, oh my God, like, we got to slap this guy. And she looks to Jerry, and he's like, hey, it's the rules.
I've seen those videos on TikTok. They're crazy.
And Jerry's wife, literally, the look on her face is disgust. Like, she can't wait to smack the fuck out of this guy. Because, you know, he took a shit and didn't spray Febreze or whatever the fuck rule he broke.
It's because she fucking read what happened to Miscavige's wife and was like, I will comply. 100% comply. I'm not going on a 30-year vacation.
Oh, fuck. So,
please don't kill me, Scientology.
They're already outside your house.
I already said what I got in mind. Bring it. Let's go. Deuce, motherfucker.
Okay, DMX, settle down.
They're so coming in my house. That was the least intimidating arf that's ever been arfed.
So Jerry then tells Sarah that her dad is at the front door of the complex. She has to cut ties with him, or they're basically going to murder him. And
this was brutal.
For real.
This, like, was heartbreaking, dude.
Yeah. Tells him, so Sarah tells him here to come back later. And when he does, she tells him to kick rocks as Brian is, like, sneaking out of the bedroom, like, I'm about to murder this dude. And listen, I know what I said earlier, and the don't do that, and don't call your kids, and are you punishing me? And is her dad a gigantic piece of shit? Yes. Your very sick wife has a nurse, is basically in hospice, and you're banging the nurse while she takes care of your very sick wife.
Oh, wait, that's why he's a piece of shit? Oh, my bad. Yeah. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. What a jerk.
You're already a piece of shit, right? With that said, can we stop with the, like, again, going back to Scientology? You have to cut ties with your family. You can't talk to nobody. It's just here. Like, all of these parallels I'm taking from this. And why you gotta be murdering people? Just because, like, they want to say hi to their fucking daughter.
You were right.
Dude, this was such a brutal scene. This is one of those scenes in a movie where it's like, you can try to empathize. I could never say those words to my parents.
Oh, absolutely. I'm
like calling them gutless and fuck off. And the next time I want to see you will be at your funeral. Oh, God damn. That's horrible. I can say that to Armando, but nobody I care about.
You have said that to me numerous times.
I have, haven't I?
Now, Sarah's apartment's open, and they start showing the apartment. Sarah's old friend and co-worker, Lisa, applies to live in the apartment, and they choose her, put her through the same torture, but Lisa pulls a Corey here, and she does not comply.
She is not the one, friend.
And it doesn't end well for her, as it doesn't typically end well when you're in a cult and you don't comply.
No, but this is when shit goes topsy-turvy for the cult as well.
Yes.
Because,
no, absolutely.
Like, Lisa's not going out alone, and Sarah kind of gets the idea, like, two's better than one. Like, look, I fucking can't stand to be in the same room with Armando, but if it's like he and I can escape a cult, together, yeah, I need his help.
Absolutely.
Human shield. Dedoy, they have a gun. And it works like perfection.
It does. Because Jerry tries to force Sarah here to lobotomize Lisa, but Sarah stabs Jerry in the neck instead.
Is that why One Eye Lester had the cauliflower ear?
I'm assuming.
I just put that together. Ugh,
yeah.
Jesus. I'm a little slow on the uptake. But, ugh.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't wrestling in a singlet. I made that up.
Oh.
So it was... Before they can get away, Jerry shoots and kills Lisa. Sarah attacks Jerry, stabs him like 20 times, and then takes his gun. And as she tries to escape, the entire community comes out, and she basically holds everybody back with the gun, shoots Brian, and then takes off to the front door to escape.
Everybody's really tough, right? They're all confident and tough, and you're going to do this, you will comply. And the second there's a gun, she's got 8 bullets left in that thing at best. There's like, 30 community members in the hallway? You can take her. But nobody wants to be first. Nobody wants to be first.
How committed are you to this community? And in that scene, it proved nobody was committed whatsoever.
Nope. It takes a lot of balls to storm the beach at Normandy, bitch. Doesn't take much to walk on the beach now. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yes.
And I like how Brian's like, yeah, you don't have the balls. You can't even say the word. And immediately...
Dude.
Oh, you can't even say it. You're not gonna...
His was my favorite death, and I also wish it took way longer. Like, I wish it was a shot in the throat, and he had to, have that shock. You know what I mean? She just fucking head splattered him. It was done. So I wish there was a little more suffering for him because of all of the characters in this movie. And I know in most of the movies we review, it's the white women that I just completely disagree with. I fucking hated Brian in this.
Oh, absolutely.
I wanted to see him suffer in ways normal people do not suffer, ever.
She gets away here. She's stopped at the front door by everyone. Lester gets a hold of the gun, shoots one of the dudes holding on to Sarah. She gets out the front door, and then we hear the gun go off again as Lester shoots himself.
Great scene, too. What I like here is Lester seems like he's Lester. Like, he's going to be creepy. Lester the molester. Like, he is, but he's not. Like, he is the one that has been trying to get out the whole time and is just forced to, he stopped fighting. He still wants out. And so even when he's paired with Sarah and, you see him kind of kiss her, and it's like, oh my God, he is literally going to scrape this woman and just be happy with it. And she's got to endure this life. And it's like, no, he's not. He hasn't really touched her since then. He's doing what he has to do. So like you said, rise through the ranks. He's doing what he has to do just to lay low and play undercover. But he's never really going to hurt Sarah. He's never really going to force Sarah to do anything he doesn't have to do. And then this at the end where he shoots the guy, lets her go, shoots him. It's fucking brilliant turn.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And it makes you feel something completely different for Lester.
Yeah.
Just completely different.
Yeah.
If you've only watched this movie once, go back and watch it now. He is the most fun character to watch, knowing what his arc is.
Yes, absolutely.
Fucking amazing.
No, you're absolutely right. Like his character was just like, okay, he's basically Freddy Krueger now. His face is all fucked up. He's got an eye fucking missing. Like, he's got that very Freddy Krueger quality to him. Yeah. And then you see how it plays out, and you're like, aw, I feel bad for Lester.
Yeah, we're the assholes.
Yes, exactly. So, and then the end of this movie is fantastic. Like, brilliantly done. Like, you think she's done, she's out, she runs down the street, she's covered in blood, and then there's a pause, And then she sees alarms going off at every neighboring apartment building in the area as they're all connected. And then she starts sprinting down the street and the movie ends. Earlier in the movie, when they're in like the little monitoring room and they have all the cameras, and she asks Brian, she sees the camera in the monitoring room and she's like, who's monitoring us? And then you get to the end and it's like, dude, there's just a string of these fucking communities all next door to each other. And it's like, like the first time I saw this, it gets to the end of the movie and you're just like it's not fucking over.
No, the ending has so many different levels for me, all of which I love. This is one of the best endings to a movie I've 100%. Seen in a very long time.
Yes, yes, yes!
Yes. A lot of people phone in their endings nowadays for the cheap, cliched ending, what we all want to see, the Disney, everybody wins, miraculously we've all survived, blah, blah, blah. The setup of this, when she gets out of the apartment, the camera is staying kind of in like a medium wide shot where they're focusing a lot more on behind her. It's a lot more close to her face, but behind her. And she does a couple things where she turns around, and that's where you're expecting the jump scare. You're expecting something to happen, somebody to walk up behind her, a shadow figure, something. None of it happens. It's her collecting her breath, realizing, then she sees the reality sign, which you start to put together like, oh, at the beginning of this movie, there's a fuck ton of reality signs laid out all over the place. Sees that, starts putting it together. And then it's just the alarms going off, the cameras outside of each of these buildings seeing her. So it's not like she can hide behind a car. She can't just duck. Like, you are going to have almost like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers-esque chase here, where that all of these apartments are going to flood out people searching for her. And then like her laughing at it, just like these motherfuckers. Which again, like so relatable. If you're trying to empathize with the character, that is so relatable where you're just like, God damn it. Like, it's not over yet. And then her clenching her fists and then getting ready to run through this gauntlet.
You were correct.
This whole piece with her and the laughing and then, running away and all of that. When I got to the end of this movie, not the first time I saw it, but this time around, because I made so many connections to other things, like in real life, something inside of me was like, oh, this is the Leah Remini story. Like, this is literally Leah Remini escaping a certain religious cult.
Shit. I'll say their name, motherfucking Scientology. Knock, knock, I'm at your door now, bitch.
Is it not? Is it
knock,
not?
Knock, guess who, bitch?
Knock, knock, it's Leah, bitch.
Leah made a mess.
You both are mean.
I don't like to form my own opinions. I like to be told by the community what to think. So I'm curious. I'm curious what everybody thinks the larger metaphor was here.
Yeah.
Because I have some theories, but my mind tends to go into some weird areas, and I get singularly focused on some things. And
you?
Yeah, believe it or not. So, by the way, when did this become shit on Corey review?
Right now.
But anyway, yeah, I get singularly focused on what I think something may be about, and that's, kind of what it's about. So I'm curious what you guys actually think the larger metaphor here was, or is it literally just about Leah Remini here escaping a cult? Is that all it's about?
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. By the way, One Bedroom Part 2 is Sarah gets a Twitter account and exposes the community.
Hell yes.
Okay, that is honestly, that was going to be the last thing I said about this was
Corey shamelessly begs for a job.
Hi, one bedroom entire crew. Uncle Corey here. Staff us. I know where the plot can go. I have the story. Staff us. We got this. We need one bedroom too. Let's just call it 2 bedroom. As soon as fucking possible, please.
Yes.
This movie needed a sequel like 2 years ago. And I get it, COVID and writer strikes and actor strikes and a whole lot of shit's been going on. At the same time, hook us the fuck up, please. I don't care if you just throw us a prequel. Why you buy time for an actual sequel? Throw us something, because this movie was so good and has so much potential to branch out Purge style and what it could actually be as a franchise. We deserve this.
We're 2 white males. Of course we deserve it. No, I'm glad you brought that up, because like, I haven't loved a horror movie like this, like that's come out in the recent past, as much as I loved this one. Suspenseful, well written, well shot, like everything about it was incredible. And when it ended, I started Googling. Like, when I first saw this in 2019, I immediately started Googling, is there a 2 bedroom, a 1 bedroom part 2? Is there? I just wanted to see if they were going to take this, and you made the perfect analogy with The Purge. This could be totally a perfect Purge style franchise. Like, again, like you, the whole crew, the cast, the David Marmor, I think, is the writer and director. Everybody did a fucking fantastic job. I got 0 bad things to say about this. This is literally for October. This is one of my October staples now for leading up to Halloween.
Yeah, I love it. Look, if they were trying to or wanted to make a Hitchcockian film, Alfred Hitchcock is sexually harassing some bitch in hell right now, and he is very happy with the job he did.
On that note, we'll end it there. For Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 2019's One Bedroom.